This is April 9th, 2020, and I missed a video on Wednesday. So I'm going to make two videos today, and these videos are going to be slightly different because they're going to be preludes to songs. Everyone has a playlist. Everyone has music that reminds them of different times, comforts them, rises them up. And people with mental illness, I mean, music has a special place in our heart. And we all have songs we listen to cheer us up, to get us out of our depressed mood. And we all have a list of songs we listen to when we're depressed, when we just want to wallow, when we just want to cry. And so this playlist is the top 10 songs I listen to when I'm depressed. And this video is going to talk about the countdown from number 10 to number 6. Now, number 10, I should say, is Sloop John B. from the Beach Boys. Now, this is very critical to me because when I was young, my parents would go on family trips. And having anxiety disorder and depression, I wouldn't feel safe away from home. I once got in a big fight with my dad before going to the Field of Dreams baseball park in Iowa. And I just remember singing this verse like a mantra, "Let me go home. Why don't they let me go home? This is the worst trip I've ever been on." And I mean, that verse, it still sticks with me. Number 9, Everyone's Talking by Harry Nilsson. Now, I have never seen Midnight Cowboy. I hear it's a great movie. I'm a Dustin Hoffman fan, but it's one of the only Dustin Hoffman films I don't think I've ever seen. And this song, it tells about social anxiety. I mean, it is social anxiety. I mean, everybody's talking at me. I don't hear a word they're saying, only the echoes of my mind. People stopping staring, I can't see their faces, only the shadows of their eyes. When you have social anxiety, you are so worried about what to say, you miss the conversation. And people become quite scary because you don't know what to say. You're afraid you'll offend them. You're afraid you'll say the wrong thing. And with social anxiety, you're so obsessed, you miss social cues as well. Number 8, Are You Happy Now by Robert Shindell. I first noticed this song from a collection called When October Goes, which is a bunch of folk songs about the change of the season of fall into winter. And this one is about Halloween. It's one of the most depressed Halloween songs I have ever heard. It's about a terrible breakup. And I've had a couple breakups, but not one as deep as this. But it just when I feel like I want to be depressed about my romantic life, I listen to this song, and this is just a few lyrics. You left a roll of black and white. I set the timer and thought of you, and put the lens up to my head. I took a photograph for you. What comes out gray is really red. Now, I'll listen to the song dozens and dozens of times, and I just realized I think he's talking about killing himself. A hobo waited in the street, an angel whispered trick or treat. But what was I supposed to do but to sit there in the dark? I was amazed to think that you could take the candy with you too. I mean, what vindictiveness. Day before Halloween, having a major breakup, and you take the candy, leaving this man to basically not be able to participate in trick-or-treating. Number 7, this is one of the most depressing songs I think ever written. It is Bergenfield by the Tom Russell Band. It's based on a true incident in 1987 where 4 Jersey teenagers killed themselves. And I have had suicidal thoughts. I've even got close to making an attempt, putting a knife to my wrist or my throat, or putting a plastic bag over my head, but never able to go through with it. And I'm so glad that I chickened out, or I got my senses at the last minute, because I wouldn't be here if I did that. But this song, In an apartment house garage, two sisters and two local boys have a carbon dioxide bon voyage. We are the unloved. We are the unloved. We are the unloved. We are the unloved of Bergenfield. And when you suffer from clinical depression, you feel unloved. And you feel like the world would be better off without you, and you'd be better off without the world. And so if you know someone who's suffering from clinical depression and who says things like the world would be better off without me, or I'm just sick of going on, or give away prized possessions, talk to them, reach out to them, ask them, are you feeling suicidal? Asking them if they're feeling suicidal is not going to put the thought in their head. They're already having that thought, but actually being able to talk about it to someone, and if need be, take them to the ER. Because it's better that your friend stays alive, even if your friend gets upset with you for preventing him from taking his own life. Number 6. Whenever I need to cry, I watch Les Miserables from 2012 with Anne Hathaway, Russell Crowe, Amanda Seyfried. All of a sudden, I can't remember the name of the guy who played Wolverine. Well, it will come to me. Hugh Jackman. And the whole movie is full of cry-worthy moments. I mean, Val John's transformation, Anne Hathaway's Fantine being thrown out of a job and into a life of humiliation and degradation. Russell Crowe, even though he's not a good singer, hunting Dorian Valjean and then killing himself. Cosette and Marius and the death of Eponine, the barricades. I mean, knowing that all these people are going to die. And I'm just going to say, end with a couple of the lyrics. Come with me where chains will never bind you. All your grief at last behind you. And I love this. To love another person is to see the face of God. Do you hear the people sing, lost in the valley of the night? It is the music of the people that are climbing to the light. For the wretched of the earth, there's a flame that never dies. Even the darkness will end and the sun will rise. They will live again in the garden of the Lord. They will look behind the plowshare and put away the sword. The chain will be broken and all men will have the reward. And again, will you join the crusade? Will you fight and die with me? I watched this in the movie theater and I was bawling, unlike I ever bawled before. And sometimes when you're depressed, what you need is a catharsis. What you need is a big cry. And that's what Les Miserables does. My next video will be number 5 through number 1.